If you have any questions or anything, just raise your hand and I will get to them as quickly as possible. And so, first of all, thank you to everyone this evening for attending this community meeting. And we're here to talk about the East Nashville Community Plan Amendment, case number 2023 CP 005 002. Uh, Quick introductions here. Councilmember Toombs, she's not currently on. I'm thinking that she may join us at a little later on in the presentation.
Um,
We
Corey, I do have Councilmember Toombs. I am going to
Okay.
move her up to panelist at this time. I do see her as being in here.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie.
1 second.
Mhm.
There we go. Councilmember Toombs, you should be a panelist now, and you should be able to mute and unmute yourself.
Thank you. I'm here.
Thank you, Councilmember Toombs. Floor is yours. I'll let you if you have any opening remarks.
Not really. I know I've heard a lot of I've gotten a lot of feedback from residents who live in the Oak Park subdivision. And of course, they're still very adamant of not having that connection to Larkspur. So I just want to make sure that that is a part of the amendment to the community plan. And it's a lot of seniors who are part of that community. So they were concerned because a lot of them don't do computers or WebExes or anything like that. So I just want to make sure that I'm representing their thoughts.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Of course, of course. And we have from the applicant team, you may have to make them a panelist, Stephanie. I think. Let me stop sharing my screen here so I can see the attendees. From the applicant team, from Catalyst, Jeff Hines. If you can make him a panelist, there we go. All right.
Yep.
All right. Uh, Jeff, any words you'd like to say before we get started?
No, I was muted until now, so I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
No, I think as with our client, they're looking at doing some development up on the area that is currently policied for the T4CC, the Urban Community Center, in amongst what's currently some industrial, some residential, and looking at doing some townhome developments there. So I know the road connection was, I think, the main driver for discussing and kind of going this route. So we're here to help answer any questions and more than willing to do so. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Sounds good. Uh, Myself, Corey Clark, Community Plans, and I also have our senior planner here, Anita McKeag. Anita, would like to say any words? Oh, can you? I'm sorry, Stephanie. Can you make Anita a panelist as well, please?
There you go. Is there anyone else that potentially should be a panelist? I can just go ahead and move up now.
Uh, no, I think we're good. We're good.
Thank you, Corey. I'm here.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Okay, so real quick rundown of the agenda here this evening. So let me share my screen once again with everybody. And so we're going to the purpose of this meeting, we're going to do a little background information. Going to talk briefly about policy and zoning to kind of give everybody situational awareness to what we do here with community plans regarding policy. And then we're going to open up the floor to questions and discussion. So essentially, why are we meeting tonight? And so we're here to discuss amending the Dickerson Road North Corridor study by studying the viability of a street connection between Homestead Road and Larkspur Drive. A couple of things we're going to touch on, describe the proposed changes, kind of explain the process, gather your feedback, and then I will make a recommendation to the Metro Planning Commission. And so right here, what you're looking at is an aerial The red outlined area is kind of what we call our study area. And what you're seeing, the yellow dash line is what is the proposed street connection that will go between Homestead and Larkspur, which is in the hot pink right there. And this is contained within the Dickerson Road North Corridor study, and I'll touch on that a little bit later.
Hey, Corey, one thing I noticed, Matt Hadaball with NDOT is one of the participants. You may want to make him a panelist.
I would do that. He's on briefly. He would have to step away before we got done, but I can definitely make him a panelist. Stephanie, his name is Matthew Hadaball.
Hadaball.
Yep. We can make him a
Okay,
panelist.
he should be a panelist now.
Okay, and I promise you that's it right there. No more. So
No worries, I'll be here if you need me.
all right. So just kind of a little background for those that may not be aware. We have 14 community plans here in Davidson County, and they kind of guide the decision making for the different areas here. And the project, disregard the little last head in there, but this project is located in the East Nashville Community Plan area, which you see with the yellow star right there. And so the community character manual, this is a manual that houses all our community character policies, and this is kind of like our go-to, our guide for how we want to shape the form and character of the community. And so why are policies important? Sorry about that. Our community character policies, they guide the Metro Planning Commission's recommendations to the Metro Council for zone change requests. Policies are important also because zone change requests that are consistent with existing community character policies have a higher likelihood of approval from the Metro Planning Commission. And it's also to change the community plan. A public engagement is required to consider the request. And so real briefly, don't want to touch too much, but like I said, just trying to familiarize people with what we do here. Land use policy, which is what I deal with, is essentially the vision for the area. And zoning is the law, the regulation, and whatnot. And zoning is influenced by the policies in the community plans. And so on the flyer that you would have received, you will saw this area or saw this map on the back of there. If we're going left to right, you see there where it says the blue dashed outline. This is a zone change request for development at this location. We keep going to the next one, which is a green dashed outline. This is another zone change request for another proposed development. And the black dashed outline is the community request area. And so here I have shown you a aerial, and this is kind of orient you to the area. So again, the blue dashed outline area is one proposed development. The green dashed outline area is another proposed development. And you can see this is Dickerson Pike up here. This is the Homestead Road. This is the intersection. And for those of you that are familiar with the area, you probably know what I'm describing here. So we'll keep going. And so, as I stated earlier, we're looking at amending the Dickerson North Corridor study, which is a supplement to the East Nashville Community Plan. And so within the Dickerson North Corridor study, it is basically primarily a land use plan, but it also addresses such things as community design, mobility, transportation, so forth and so on. And within that, it talks about the road network, and what you're seeing here is a map, which is kind of like the conceptual framework where you can see the road connections that go north, south, and east, west. And you also see the highlighted areas where it's looking at, you want to kind of concentrate your land use policies, whether it be low intensity, medium, high intensity, so forth and so on. And so tonight, what we're looking at is again, this is an aerial. You're seeing yellow, uh, the yellow proposed connection from Homestead to Larkspur Drive. And the recommendation or the sentiment is that to remove this connection right here from the from the Dickerson Road North corridor study. And when speaking, that seems to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Councilmember Toombs, but that is what the community wants, to have this connection, to have this verbiage and language removed from the study. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so I know I spoke with a property owner that is next door at 310 Homestead Drive, Homestead Road there, and the concern was about the property being taken, and what we're that's not what we're proposing. We are proposing, or that's what I'm proposing, to remove this street connection from the study. So I just kind of want to put that to rest right there. And let me see if I'm forgetting something. Oh, before I forget, there was a traffic signal study done here at the intersection of Dickerson Pike and Homestead Road. And also NDOT analyzed the results of that study. And long story short, everyone was on the same page with, including myself, with removing the connection right here at removing from the study that connection. And I believe that's it. That's all I have. Anybody have any questions or comments? Let me stop sharing my screen here.
Corey, will that be the only change to the plan, removing that connection?
Yes, ma'am. That will be the only change to the plan. Yes, ma'am.
Council member, just to add to what Corey's saying, I think we will need to provide some guidance for the rest of Homestead Road and future development. Without the street connection, what kind of limits on capacity does Homestead Road have in the future?
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Nita. Appreciate that.
Just for anyone who may be new to using WebEx, if you want to submit a question via text, there is a button essentially over in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It should say Q&A. It's right next to your participant button as well. If you click on that, you should be able to submit a question, and then we can get it read and answered.
NDOT's analysis, was there any discussion about improvements to Homestead Road?
So the discussion was that with the units, what's being proposed there now, there will be they'll be on the threshold not to trigger any roadway improvements. However, if you go over, I think it was 100 units for Homestead Road, then that would trigger the need to study making improvements on Homestead Road.
Okay.
It was actually 160 units, Corey, out at the intersection of Dickerson, that Homestead could function adequately.
Okay.
Is what the study said. But as part of the proposal, I think there was some widening of Homestead just to make sure we had a minimum width there throughout all the way out to Dickerson with these projects.
Yeah, to kind of build up on what Jeff was saying, there's a couple portions on Homestead that are pretty narrow and more narrow than our standards that we kind of have. So a part of these projects is kind of bringing that up to code and kind of what we accept, just to make sure that we're not continuing to add more traffic on a road that doesn't meet the minimum requirements that we have in place.
Okay.
Thank you for that, gentlemen. Thank you for that clarification. Are there any questions from the audience out there, from the attendees? I'm taking there is not. So let me go to our last slide here. So kind of what the next steps are. So this community meeting is recorded and it will be uploaded to the to view on Metro Planning Department's YouTube channel. Then on my end, I have to draft my staff report with the recommendation for this study, for this plan amendment. And this plan amendment is scheduled to appear on the December 14th Metro Planning Commission meeting. And if you have any questions or comments or any other concerns, feel free to email me at corey.clark@nashville.gov. Let me stop sharing. So once again, last call, are there any questions before we wrap up here? Council member, do you have any closing remarks?
No, this has been good. Again, the big thing for the community was that road connection. They were very adamant about that. I believe every single resident in that subdivision signed a petition. So glad to see this plan amendment moving forward.
Awesome. Okay. Jeff, any closing remarks?
I think we are good. We appreciate your assistance with this.
All right, good deal. As promised, to try to get you guys up out of here and
I think I
as
see
quick as
someone's
possible.
hand raised. Is that a hand raise next to Joan?
Yep, I'm seeing that hand raised too. Joan, I'm going to request for you to unmute, and you should be able to unmute yourself and then ask the question.
Hello, Joan.
Joan, I'm seeing you as unmuted. Are you able to ask your question?
I see she's unmuted again. Hi, Joan. Are you able to ask your question?
She may be
Looks like
having issues with her connection. Joan, if you're one of my District 2 folks, you can reach out to me. You can email me or call me 615-669-4390. Corey, I don't know if you have a number that you can share.
yes. Joan, I'll give you my number, which is 615-862-7155. Or you can email me at Corey, CORY.Clark, CLARK, @nashville.gov.
And then, Joan, we can also give it a minute or two if you want to try submitting your question in writing in the Q&A section. That is in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You should be able to click on Q&A and a new window will appear. And then you can type in your question where it says, select a question and type your answer, or not select a question, but type your question here.
Hi, John. Are you able to type something in the Q&A chat box down there? Let me see. Okay, it looks like she is not able to type in there. Stephanie, any other suggestions?
Unfortunately, no, I'm not sure what's happening with the audio portion of it. I was seeing her unmute, but then something was happening where she wouldn't be able, or they would not be able to speak. I'm not exactly sure what was causing that issue.
Okay, all right. Well, again, Joan, you have my contact information. I'll be here for another half hour in the office. So if you want to give me a call and we can talk that way, 615-862-7155 is my number. And to everyone else, again, thank you for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. And we will, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and we'll talk soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, folks.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
y'all.